Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Do me a favor and please subscribe if you haven't already. Also consider joining my Patreon page for some cool perks. I'll leave a link in the description. Franklin P. Jones once said, "Perhaps nobody has changed the course of history as much as the historians." Speaking of history, it's time to open the doors to the past on music history. During each episode of Music History, I will inform you of some interesting music events that have happened today, August 18th. I'm not going to drone on and on about everything that occurred today. Instead, I condensed it down to 10 significant moments. I put them in chronological order. Let's get started. First, on this day in 1950, Foreigner's flamboyant drummer Dennis Elliott drew his first breath. Happy birthday, Dennis. On this day in 1969, the iconic Woodstock Festival came to a breathtaking close when Jimi Hendrix performed such a sensuous version of the Star-Spangled Banner. By the time Jimi took the stage on Monday morning, the crowd dwindled down from 500,000 people to 200,000. Nevertheless, with his guitar, he conveyed the restless emotions of an entire flower power counterculture generation quite effectively. On this day in 1973, a great jazz drummer named Gene Krupa played his final gig in New York City alongside the Benny Goodman Quartet. Shortly thereafter, he passed away just 2 months later. Rest in peace, Gene. On this day in 1977, a funeral for the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was held 2 days after his deceased body was discovered in his bathroom at Graceland. Around 75,000 fans flocked to the funeral site to mourn the massive loss. Rest in peace, Elvis. On this day in 1978, the tremendous singer of the Temptations, Mr. Melvin Franklin, tried to thwart an attempted carjacking and got shot 4 times at close range. Thankfully, he survived the scary incident. On this day in 1982, several streets located in the Beatles' hometown of Liverpool, England, were named after them. These included John Lennon Drive, Paul McCartney Way, George Harrison Close, and Ringo Starr Drive. No offense, but I believe that John Lennon Lane and Ringo Starr Road would have rolled off the tongue better. On this day in 1984, the Red Hot Chili Peppers released their self-titled debut album. It came awfully close to landing on the Billboard Hot 200 chart, clinging to the 201st spot for approximately 2 months. On this day in 1986, Bon Jovi put out their career-defining album called Slippery When Wet. It featured a few of their most sought-after songs, such as Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive, and You Give Love a Bad Name. Slippery When Wet sold a colossal 12 million copies in the US alone. On this day in 1992, Frances Bean Cobain, the daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, was born. Happy birthday, Frances. Unfortunately, Frances hardly had any time to build a bond with her famous father because he died merely 2 years later. Rest in peace, Kurt. Last but not least, on this day in 1998, rising star Kid Rock released his 4th studio album, which he dubbed Devil Without a Cause. No, it didn't sell 666 copies. Trend-setting tracks like Cowboy helped him sell over 10 million copies to achieve diamond status. Well, that's it. What's your favorite thing that took place on August 18th? Let me know in the comments. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my supporters on Patreon, Matt and Stacy from Canada. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Till then, rock on.